Our story begins with a warrior woman. She is you, and you are her. Born of our mother's womb, we emerge, carrying wisdom as great as the eighth wonder of the world as our crown. Embedded inside of us is a deep knowing that all beings are interdependent. One. This mural pays homage to this indigenous perspective. Our healing journey begins with hearing and answering the call. Whispers of Baybayin, our ancient pre-Filipino script, linger in our ears, begging us to remember. Lakbay journey.
And so what began really as trying to take better care of like my physical health ended up becoming like this development of like my spiritual identity, right? And then this reconnection to like my indigenous self. And I feel like that's why a lot of us are sick, is because we've lost that, right? And I think in order for us to really be able to navigate those things like successfully, like as a community, right, of like how to serve our community and like talk about mental health, like we need to also talk about like why our connection to like spirit or like our indigenous identity like happened, right? The violence in that, the trauma in that.
A malong blows in the wind across the mural, folding and showing the many textures and patterns of our collective Filipino identity.
When I think of kapwa, I think of a malong, and I think of the many uses of a malong, how a mother can use it to hold her child, how she could use it to bring food back to the table and feed her family, how it can be used to even sleep in, to self-care, recharge. I also think of the malong itself and how it's held together by many different threads, and it makes me think of the community and how we're all interwoven with each other by different threads, along with the threads of our ancestors. And when it comes together, it looks like this beautiful tapestry, this beautiful artistic vision. I also think of resilience and how a malong is supposed to represent resilience, like the resilience of the people of Mindanao, everything going on over there, and the resilience of our community as we strive to, just embrace kapwa and be together with each other. When you pull out one thread, it just keeps coming out, and then the malong just ends up falling apart. And it's like the community is bleeding when one person isn't well, when one person isn't getting the necessary support that they need. And so in order to embrace this indigenous value, I think it's important to use this as a healing mechanism and to kind of paste the community together and to hold us accountable for each other's well-being. When one person isn't able to take care of themselves, then the community becomes a support system for that person.
Each pattern within the malong is a voice, a thread. Embroidered blocks of San Francisco neighborhoods, Soma, Filipinas, home. 100 years of Filipino history, our culture, our heritage. West Bay, United Playas, Galing Bata, Bayanihan Center. Navigating the growing pains of displacement, forced migration, assimilation, and its impact on our mental landscapes. Our diasporic movements are pushed by opportunity, supported by community, as we climb mountaintops and transverse valleys, at times carrying our loved ones and little ones on our backs until they're strong enough to walk on their own. Anahaw, a humble gift from nature, our national leaf, remade and woven together, bending, never breaking, into strong rooftops and mats, stamped on the side of balikbayan boxes that house and transport resilience, magic, innovation, and radical empathy. Look to the other side of the malong. Cool colors invite us to balance hot and cold, active and resting, inner and outer worlds. Kapwa is sensing one another, being connected, whether face to face or across oceans. Sharing and cooking healing foods, malunggay leaves, sour soups, ginger broths, warming, expanding from our cocoons. Our healing transformations invite us to spread our wings and bring openness, laughter, and joy to others.
You know, you have to think of this illness in another way. Instead of just negative energy as like positive, collective, you know, a force that will lift us higher. And, you know, it's not something that is even, you know, I wouldn't say it even as like a blessing in disguise. I would say that I would say that, you know, that's just something that you use to propel yourself forward, because, you know, that we cannot just unite over the good things. We have to unite over the bad things and use us to propel, you know, through the waves of life.
Ka, unity. Pwa, the sound of breath. I breathe you and you breathe me, as we move together like the legs of a centipede.
I guess I heard it before, like when I went to the Philippines back when I was younger, but then when I came and my daughters went to the Filipino Galing Bata Filipino school, I think that's where it really resonated and really I seen it in action. Every step of the way, when we were fighting for the school to be extended, the middle school, all of us got together and joined forces to go to the city hall and present our objectives to help the community to expand in the South of Market. And that's where I seen all of, you know, Kapwa presented there. Everybody from young to old to seniors were there to support the community to get the school extended in the South of Market.
Helping hands uplift those held under by currents of mental health and transmit healing, love, and support.
Kapwa for me is this gathering we're having. But I wrote down Kapwa feels levitating, like a feather cradled by the ocean winds.
Letting our truth flow like waters of the ocean, washing away shame, fear, and judgment. When we share, our stories heal.
I believe that mental health is not only stigmatized in our world today, but especially in our Filipino community. I believe that what we need to do is keep speaking about it, to destigmatize it initially. We need to keep having conversations saying that, like going off of what you said, we all go through our trauma and we all have our different stories, and it's important to keep talking about it in order for it not to be shunned away or for people to be afraid, because mental health, or like having bad mental health, it happens to everybody.
Through these eyes, we see into the soul of our community. We are the realized dreams of our ancestors, rising like the sun.
Kapwa looks, sounds, and feels like a deep familiarity with those around me. It looks like a shared light radiating from people within. The first thought and memory that comes to mind is looking at my sons and literally seeing myself in them, along with ancestors familiar and those that are unknown.
Continuing, contributing to the movement The youth create sacred circles, exchanging energy and co-creating a vision for our healed future.
As a person who has mental health issues, and one day I just broke down. It was not easy, not pretty. I was in front of other people, and somebody in the group said, "Thank you for being vulnerable, and sharing your experiences." For that moment, I felt that I was kapwa to them, that I shared something with them, that they're at the deepest level, their humanity, shared humanity. And come to think of it, the act of making, pagkikipagkapwa is creating a safe space for people, creating a place where they feel welcomed, accepted, and valued, and as themselves in relation to each other.
Kapwa, interdependence, working together, understanding without prejudice, sharing common experiences, and celebrating our similarities, accepting our differences. Remember again, we are Kapwa Rising.